Hi everyone, I'm Xiao Bai from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you a bare earphone case, sweater style. This earphone case consists of the main part, arms, facial features, and decorations. Let's start by learning how to crochet the main part. It is divided into two legs, the body, the head, and the cover. First, crochet two legs separately. After completing them, join them together, and continue crocheting upwards for the body and head. Finally, crochet the cover. Let's start with the legs. We will start from foundation chain. Work in rounds, follow the foundation chain. Before we begin, let's take a look at the chart. In the chart, our plus number indicates the round number. The stitch instructions column shows what stitch techniques used when crocheting that specific round, as well as the increasing or decreasing situations. The total stitches column indicates the total number of stitches for that round after completion. This toy uses X stitch single crochet throughout. It will simply be referred to as single crochet moving forward. The stitch techniques used include CH chain stitch, X stitch single crochet, W single crochet 3-in-1, V single crochet increase and slip stitch. Next, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Take out the corresponding yarn. Here, for your convenience to see more clearly, the sample is demonstrated using cotton yarn. Random colors. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Before starting to crochet, learn the proper posture for crocheting first. Wrap the yarn tail once around the left little finger. Pass it through between the middle finger and index finger. Then, pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the corresponding hook size with your right hand. The hook moves between these 2 points. The cast on is 6ch. This indicates that the method for casting on is the foundation chain. Cast on 6 stitches. Start by making a slip knot. Place the hook underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pinch the crossing point of the loop with your left thumb and middle finger. Place the hook above the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through the loop. The starting knot doesn't count as one stitch. Slightly tighten. Crochet a chain stitch next. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. 1 chain stitch is completed. Do this 5 more times. One, 2, 3. That's how you finish casting on. Now let's move on to the first round. Dow 2 means start crocheting from the second chain stitch from the hook. Use the crochet hook to pick up the top loop of the second chain from the hook. It's this single strand of yarn here. The number before X tells you how many single crochets to make. Here it means to work 4 single crochets into the top loop of the chain stitch. Insert the hook into the top strand of the chain stitch. Place the hook above the yarn. Draw the yarn through. There will be 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over. And draw through in once. That completes 1 X stitch single crochet. We'll refer to it simply as a single crochet from now on. There are 2 strands of yarn that make up the V shape at the top, right? This is the stitch of a single crochet. Pick up these 2 strands and place a marker. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a safety pin or paperclip instead. Continue with the second single crochet. Pick up one strand from the top loop of the adjacent chain stitch. Place the hook above the yarn. Pull through. Yarn over. And draw through the 2 loops on your hook. The second single crochet is done. Continue and complete the remaining 2 single crochets. 1, 2. After completing them, pick up one strand from the top loop of the last chain stitch. Crochet single crochet 3 in 1. That is, crochet 3 single crochets in the same place. One, 2, 3. Then rotate the fabric. Pick up the other side of the foundation chain, and go back to crochet. First, pick up the remaining 2 strands of the adjacent chain stitch. This is also the insertion position for the stitch on this side. Make 1 single crochet. Here you can place the starting tail above the crochet hook. Hide it as you crochet. Continue at the position of the adjacent chain stitch on the left side. Work single crochets. One, 2. When you reach the final chain stitch position, crochet 1 single crochet increase, that is, crochet 2 single crochets in this position. One, 2. The single crochet increase is completed at the first stitch, which is also the stitch marker position. Work 1 slip stitch. Insert. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. And draw through in once all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. The slip stitch is not indicated in the chart. When crocheting in practice, you need to work a slip stitch at the end of each round. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. The slip stitch doesn't count as one stitch and needs to be tightened. Crocheting for the first round is completed. You can see that the right side of the fabric has a clear texture. The wrong side has a blurry texture. We will use the side with the clearer texture as the right side. The side with the blurry texture is the wrong side. For following crocheting, the right side should always face you. Now let's crochet the second round. Start with 1 chain stitch as the turning chain. This turning chain is not marked in the chart. When crocheting in rounds in practice, you need to work a turning chain at the start of each round. The turning chain does not count as a stitch. Work 1 single crochet increase in the first stitch of the previous round. Place a marker on the first stitch. Continue picking up stitches, and work 3 single crochets. You can see that the single crochet forms a cross like this. On top, there is a raised diagonal line. The two strands above the diagonal line are the stitch you need to work into. Next is 3V. The number before the V indicates how many single crochet increases to work in a row. Here it means to work 3 single crochet increases in a row. After completing them, continue working 3 single crochets one by one. Finally, on the remaining 2 stitches, continuously work single crochet increases. After completing, slip stitch to the first stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook in one go. Slip stitch is now complete. Tighten the yarn. This completes the second round of crocheting. Continue with the third round. Start with 1 chain stitch as the turning chain. Let me emphasize again. At the start of each round, you need to make a turning chain. I won't repeat this for the following rounds. Crochet evenly with 18 single crochets. This means to work single crochets into each corresponding stitch from the previous round. Total of 18 stitches. For convenience in locating the slip stitch position later, mark the first stitch of each round. Crocheting evenly will cause the fabric to naturally curl. Adjust the fabric so that the right side faces out. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Tighten. The third round is now completed. Next, we'll work on the fourth round. Start by crocheting 8 single crochets into each corresponding stitch. After completing, make 1 single crochet increase. Then continue with 9 single crochets. Lastly, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. Make a chain stitch to secure. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail before cutting the yarn. The yarn tail can be dealt with later. The fourth round is now completed. At the same time, one leg is also completed. Let's take a look. A raised texture on the right side indicates one round. Starting from the starting chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, we have crocheted 4 rounds. Everyone can follow the same method. Refer to the chart and complete the other leg. After finishing the second leg, don't break the yarn. Next, we will crochet the body. First, you need to join the 2 legs. Then continue crocheting in rounds upward. You will need to change colors while crocheting. The new stitch technique used is a single crochet decrease. Please watch the demonstration. Continuing from the leg without breaking the yarn, start crocheting round 5. Begin with 2 chain stitches. Take the other leg. On this last round. On the last stitch. Which is the stitch to the right of the stitch marker? Crochet 1 slip stitch. Pull tight. The 2 legs are now joined. Start from this stitch. Crochet 9 single crochets. Place a stitch marker on the first single crochet. As you crochet, weave in the yarn tail. After completing, make 1 single crochet increase. Nine single crochets. Next, you'll reach the joining position. Pick up 1 strand from the top loop of the chains at the joining spot. Correspondingly make 2 single crochets into it. You can place a stitch marker on the remaining 2 strands of the chain. This makes it convenient to find the spot later. Now we move to the next leg. Start from the first stitch, which is the stitch marker position. Pick up and crochet 9 single crochets sequentially. One single crochet increase. Nine single crochets. Next, you'll reach the joining position again. Pick up the remaining 2 strands of the chain at the joining spot. That is, the stitch marker position. Correspondingly make 2 single crochets. After completing, join with a slip stitch at the stitch marker position. The 5th round is finished. Once this round is completed, the 2 legs may appear a little slanted. This is a normal phenomenon. From the chart, from the 6th round to the 9th round, the crochet method is relatively simple. The stitch techniques used have all been demonstrated in detail before. The meaning of the stitch instructions is similar to before. You just need to follow the stitch order in the chart, and repeat crocheting the corresponding number of times. Let me explain this here. In the chart are EIGHT_NINE, even 4, 8x, means starting from the 8th round, 1 single crochet in each stitch, with 48 stitches per round. Continue straight until the end of the 9th round. For similar formats later on, the meaning will be similar to this. Refer to the chart. Continue crocheting all the way down to the 9th round with 1 stitch left. When you reach the corresponding position, you need to change colors in the next round. Here, I'll demonstrate the color changing method. First, work an incomplete single crochet, insert the hook, and draw the yarn through. This is the incomplete single crochet. Then take the new yarn. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters. Draw the yarn through. Complete this single crochet. Then join with a slip stitch using the new yarn. Adjust slightly. Cut the original yarn, leaving a tail of about 5 centimeters. Place both yarn tails at the back of the fabric piece. The color change is now complete. When you need to switch colors later, you can switch colors using this method every time. Up to this point, the 9th round is completed. Continue with the new yarn and refer to the chart to crochet the 10th round. While crocheting this round, wrap the yarn tails in as you go. Continue until this round is fully completed. For the following rounds 11 through 16, just crochet one stitch to another. Pay attention to the color changes while crocheting. Next, start crocheting the 17th round. The sample swatch color scheme is not for reference. Start with 11 single crochets. Here, I've already completed the sample swatch. Afterward, the chart shows an A, which indicates a single crochet decrease. Let's take a look first. The stitch looks like these two strands. The one closer to the front side is called the front loop. The other one is the back loop. Insert your hook into the front loop of the first stitch. Then insert it into the front loop of the next stitch on the left. There are 3 loops on the hook. Place the hook above the yarn. Draw the yarn through. Pass through the first 2 loops on the hook. Now you have 2 loops left. Yarn over. Pull through once. You've completed the single crochet decrease. This method of picking up only the front loops for decreasing is called an invisible decrease. Use this technique to crochet. The gaps between stitches are relatively small. This makes the fabric more delicate overall. Crochet 23 single crochets in the corresponding positions next. After completing, crochet 1 single crochet decrease. First, insert into the front loop of the first stitch, then, insert into the front loop of the next stitch on the left. There are 3 loops on your hook. Place the hook above the yarn. Draw the yarn through. Pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. There are 2 loops left on the hook. Yarn over, pull through once. Complete the single crochet decrease. Crochet a single crochet in the corresponding stitch next. Finally, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Tighten. Round 17 is now completed. For the next rounds 18 to 25, no new stitches or techniques are used. Refer to the chart for guidance. Complete these rounds on your own. Pay attention, when crocheting the last stitch of round 25, change colors. Continue with round 26 next. Start with 12 single crochets. Here, I've already completed the sample swatch. Afterward, the chart shows BLO, which means work in the back loop only. Proceed by working into the back loops of each stitch. Correspondingly, crochet 24 single crochets. After completing, pick up stitches normally and crochet 10 single crochets. Finally, join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet stitch. This completes round 26. You can take a look now. This is the effect created by crocheting into the back loops only. You can mark the remaining half stitches at the beginning and end with stitch markers. For rounds 27 to 29, there are no new stitches or techniques used. Everyone, refer to the chart and complete the crocheting. Here, I've already finished the sample swatch. Leave a yarn tail of about 5 centimeters and cut the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. Trim any excess tails. This completes the body section. Next, we'll crochet the head. Continue crocheting in rounds upward from the body. Make sure to leave an opening while crocheting. After completing, sew the ending together. The new technique used here is K-skipping stitches. Please watch the demonstration. Now, let's crochet the 30th round. Take out the corresponding color yarn. The sample here is for convenience in watching. Colors are random. Find the last round of the body. Position of the 10th stitch. Join the yarn. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Draw the loop through. Adjust slightly. Then start crocheting the corresponding number of single crochets. Pay attention, the first stitch should be crocheted at the joining position. After completing, crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. Skip the next stitches and don't crochet them. Slip stitch into the first stitch. The 30th round is now complete. Next, let's crochet the 31st round. First, refer to the chart. Crochet the corresponding stitch techniques. Keep crocheting until you reach just before the chain space. When you reach the corresponding position, Pick up one strand from the top of the chain. Work single crochets correspondingly. After completing, slip stitch into the first stitch. The 31st round is now complete. For the next 32nd round, start by picking up stitches and crocheting the corresponding number of single crochets as usual. Then, work single crochets into the back loops only accordingly. For the remaining rounds, no new stitches or techniques are used. Just follow the stitch order in the chart to crochet. After completing the final round, leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters. Fasten off the yarn. Thread the yarn tail into a darning needle. You can now remove the stitch marker here. Pinch the head section symmetrically and flatten it. Use the whip stitch method to sew. Pick up stitches corresponding one by one. Sew to close the opening. After finishing the sewing, weave in the yarn tails on the wrong side with a few extra stitches. Trim any excess tails. That completes the head section. Use the side with the opening as the back of the main part. The other side will be the front. Next, crochet the cover. Work on the remaining half stitches of the head. Work back and forth in rows. Leave space for buttonholes while crocheting. Please see the demonstration. Let's start with row 1. Place the wrong side of the main part facing you. Legs on top. Head at the bottom. Locate the remaining half stitches from the 31st round of the head. Join the yarn on the rightmost half stitch. Make 1 chain as the turning chain. Start from the joining position. Work single crochets into each stitch in sequence. Place a marker on the first stitch. Place another marker on the last stitch. Row 1 is now complete. Next, work row 2. Crochet 1 chain to start. Turn means to flip the fabric over. Place the wrong side facing you. Rotate counterclockwise to turn the piece. Pick up stitches, and work single crochets into each stitch correspondingly. When crocheting on the wrong side, the stitch will be located at the top left corner. Row 2 is now complete. The method for rows 3 and 4 is identical to row 2. Please complete them on your own. Next, we will work on row 5. Crochet 1 chain to start. Turn the fabric piece over. Skip the first stitch and leave it unworked. Start from the second stitch and work 5 single crochets. After completing, crochet 4 chains. Skip 4 stitches next and leave them unworked. Begin from the 5th stitch and work 4 single crochets. Skip 1 stitch. Work 1 single crochet into the last stitch. Row 5 is now complete. This chain space is the position for the buttonhole. Now, let's work on the 6th row. Start with 1 chain as the turning chain. Turn the fabric piece. Skip 1 stitch. Begin from the 2nd stitch, and work 4 single crochets. At the chain space, pick up the top loop of the chains. Work 4 single crochets evenly into corresponding stitches. After completing, crochet 3 single crochets. Skip 1 stitch and leave it unworked. Work 1 single crochet into the last stitch. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters. Break the yarn. Remove the stitch marker. Weave in the yarn tail along the wrong side texture. Once it's secured tightly, cut off the excess tail. The 6th row is now completed. Up to this point, the cover is crocheted and completed. At the same time, the main part has also been explained. Next, we will crochet the arms. We will start from foundation chain. Work in rounds, follow the foundation chain. When crocheting, you need to change colors and attach magnetic clasp. The magnetic clasp looks like these 2 parts. The side with a protrusion is the male part. The side with an indentation is the female part. The male part goes on top. It should be attached to the front of the left arm. The female part goes on the bottom. It should be attached to the back of the right arm. The left and right sides here are determined by the earphone case, when its right side is facing you. Next, I will demonstrate using the left arm as an example. First, refer to the chart. Crochet the first 6 rounds until there is 1 stitch left. Here, my swatch is already completed. Next, attach the male part. Press the fabric piece flat along the foundation chain. Take the male part. On the left side of the slip stitch. Between the 4th and 5th rounds. At approximately the middle position. Insert the male part into the fabric piece. Once the position fits properly, take the base piece. And place it over the 2 prongs on the back of the male part. Then, take the tool to assist. Press the prongs flat. This way, the male part is installed. After completing the installation, continue to refer to the chart, and complete crocheting the remaining part of the arm. You will need to switch colors while crocheting. Once crocheting is finished, leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters and cut the yarn. This completes the left arm. Next, make the right arm. The crocheting method is similar to that of the left arm. Start by referring to the chart. Crochet the first 6 rounds until there is 1 stitch remaining. Then press the fabric piece flat along the foundation chain. On the left side of the slip stitch, between the 4th and 5th rounds, at approximately the middle position, attach the female part. The installation method is similar to that of the male part. Please complete the installation on your own, then continue to complete the remaining part of the arm. After crocheting is finished, leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters. This will be used for sewing. Up to this point, the explanation for the right arm is complete. Finally, sew the arm together. Start by sewing the left arm. You can remove the stitch marker. Thread the reserved yarn tail into a darning needle. Take the main part. Place the main part with the right side facing you. Place the side of the arm with the slip stitch marks facing down. Align the top with the 25th round of the bodice side edge. Use the whip stitch method for sewing. Pick up the stitches from the last round of the arm. Sew them together with the corresponding position on the body. Here, I'll demonstrate the sewing of the arm using a swatch. This completes the sewing of the left arm. Everyone can finish sewing the right arm using the same method. Pay attention while sewing. Keep the side with the slip stitches facing down. Place the female part at the back. Ensure the positions of both arms are symmetrical. You can sew them together on your own. Up to this point, the explanation of the arms is complete. Next, we will make and attach the facial features. It consists of the ears, the nose, the eyes, and the blush. First, crochet the ears. They consist of the outer ear and the inner ear. Crochet them separately, then attach them to the main part. Start by crocheting the outer ear. Use the magic ring method to begin. Crochet in rounds. Please watch the demonstration. Let's start by casting on. The cast on is Mr. This means the casting on method is the adjustable magic ring. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Hold the crochet hook with your right hand. Position the hook underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. A loop forms on the hook. Use your left thumb and middle finger. Pinch the crossing point of the loop. The loop should be large. Put the hook on the left side of your yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. The magic ring is now complete. Next, crochet the corresponding number of single crochets into the magic ring. Place a stitch marker on the first single crochet to mark it. After completing the crocheting, close the magic ring. Pull the yarn tail tight directly. Then slip stitch at the stitch marker position. Tighten it. The first round is now complete. Now move on to the second round. R2 is X, V, times 4. The parentheses here indicate a group. Times number indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. First, crochet 1 single crochet. Then, crochet 1 single crochet increase. One group, X, V, is now completed. Let me demonstrate another group. First, make 1 single crochet. Then make a single crochet increase. This is the second group. For this round, you need to repeat and crochet 4 groups. Continue to complete the remaining 2 groups. After completing, slip stitch at the marker position. The crocheting for round 2 is now finished. For the following rounds 3 to 4, no new stitches or techniques are used. You can simply refer to the chart and crochet. After completing the crocheting, leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters. Fasten off the yarn. This completes one ear. Next, we will attach it. Take the reserved yarn tail and thread it into a darning needle. Press the ear flat along the slip stitch position. Take the main part. Position the ear so that the slip stitch side faces downward. Align the top of the ear with the second to last round of the head. Then count down 3 rounds. Sew in a curve to match the arc of the head and arm. The sewing technique is similar to the one used for the arm. Use the whip stitch method. Pick up the stitches of the ear, and sew them to the roughly corresponding position on the head. Complete the sewing on your own. Make sure the positions of the 2 ears are symmetrical. That completes the explanation for the outer ear. Next, we will crochet the inner ear. Start with the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds. After crocheting, proceed with the assembly. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the detailed crocheting method. Start with a magic ring. Then crochet single crochets through the loop of the magic ring. Once completed, close the magic ring. No slip stitch join is needed here. Leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters. Break the yarn. Next, start tucking in the stitches. Pull the starting yarn tail to the right side of the fabric piece, which is the side with clearer texture. Thread the reserved yarn tail into a darning needle. Insert the needle through the first single crochet stitch, coming out from back to front. Then bring it back through the chain where the yarn tail is located. Finish securing the stitch. Trim the beginning and ending yarn tails, leaving just a little bit. Apply glue on the right side. Glue it to the middle of the outer ear, slightly lower in position. This completes one inner ear, both crocheted and attached. Everyone can follow the same method. To crochet and attach the other one, Up to this point, the explanation for the ears is complete. Next, we will crochet the nose. It includes the nose fabric piece, the embroidery thread for the nose, and the nose tip. Start by crocheting the nose fabric piece. We will start from foundation chain, and work in rounds follow the foundation chain. Everyone refer to the chart and crochet it well. After finishing, no need for a slip stitch. Leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters. Cut the yarn. We will now weave in the stitches. Here, I've already crocheted the sample. The yarn tails can be left untreated for now. Join the yarn to start embroidering the nose thread. Cut a segment of black yarn about 20 centimeters long. Pull out 2 small strands from it. Thread them into a sewing needle. Start on the wrong side of the nose piece. In the middle position, embroider a center line. Bring the needle out from the middle of the last round. Leaving a little yarn tail. Then insert it back into the middle of the first round below. That completes the center line. Next, embroider a V-shaped segment below the center line. V-shaped spaces with 1 stitch in between. Insert the needle through the middle of the stitch next to the center stitch. Then insert it back into the position of the vertical line. Exit again through the center of the stitch beside it. Exit again from the middle of the adjacent stitch. Tie off the beginning and ending yarn tails. Trim any excess tails. Take the nose tip. Apply glue on it. Glue the nose tip horizontally above the vertical line of the nose, at the middle position. Finally, apply glue on the right side of the nose piece. Align the top edge of the piece with the 8th round, from the bottom of the main part. Attach it to the relatively central position of the main part. That's how you make the nose. Next, attach the eyes. Take out the eyes. Apply glue on them. Stick them on the sides of the nose. Align the top with the 7th round from the bottom. Glue it vertically like this. Up to this point, the eyes are attached. Finally, let's make the blush. We will start from foundation chain. Work in rounds, follow the foundation chain. After crocheting is finished, tuck the beginning and ending yarn tails to the right side of the fabric. The method is similar to the nose piece. Everyone refer to the chart to complete it. Then apply glue on the right side. Attach it on both sides of the nose. At a proper position below the eyes. About 1 stitch apart from the nose. Align the top with the nose piece. The blush is done. The entire facial features have been explained. Next, we will make decorations. It consists of collar, pocket, hat and closure button. First, crochet the collar. Here, pick up the remaining half stitches from the main part. The new stitch used is F double crochet. Please see the demonstration. Place the right side of the main part facing you. Leg on top. Head at the bottom. Find the remaining half stitches from round 25 of the body. Start by joining the yarn at the marker position on the far right. Crochet 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. This counts as 1 double crochet, then work double crochets into each stitch in sequence. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the adjacent half stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. There are now 2 loops remaining on the hook. Yarn over. And draw through in once. 1 double crochet is now complete. Continue to the next stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. There are now 2 loops remaining on the hook. Yarn over. And pull through in once. Another double crochet stitch is now complete. Everyone continue to finish the remaining part. After completing the crocheting, leave a yarn tail of about 30 centimeters. Break the yarn. Thread the yarn tail onto a darning needle. Secure it on both edges of this row separately. Also secure twice evenly in the middle. Finally, tidy up and hide the yarn tail. Trim the excess tail. That's it, the collar is now completed. Next, we will crochet the pocket. We will start from foundation chain and work in rounds follow the foundation chain. After completion, glue it onto the proper position on the main part. The new stitches used include TV half double crochet increase, T half double crochet. Please refer to the demonstration. Everyone first follow the chart to complete the first round. The sample swatch here is already crocheted. Next, we will crochet the second round. Here, the square brackets indicate that the stitches inside the brackets are worked in the same position. First, work one single crochet. Then 2 chain stitches, followed by another single crochet in the same position. This completes one group within the square brackets. Next, work 4 slip stitches. For the slip stitches, there's no need to pull tight. After completing it, crochet another group of stitches in the square brackets. 1 single crochet. Two chain stitches. And 1 single crochet. Then work 1 single crochet into the adjacent stitch. Next, work 2 half double crochet increases. It means working 2 half double crochets in the same position. Yarn over the hook. Insert the hook. And pull the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop a bit. Then yarn over again, and draw through. 1 half double crochet is completed. Work another one in the same position. Yarn over the hook. Insert it. And pull the yarn through. Enlarge the loop slightly. Yarn over and draw through all loops again. Another half double crochet is completed. The half double crochet increase is finished. Work one more half double crochet increase in the stitch on the left. Crochet 2 half double crochets into the adjacent stitch. Work 2 consecutive half double crochet increases into the stitches on the left. Crochet 1 single crochet into the last stitch. No need to join with a slip stitch after completion. Leave a tail of about 10 centimeters and cut the yarn. Next, we will tuck in the ends. Thread the reserved yarn tail into a darning needle. Insert the needle from the first stitch. And bring it out from back to front. Then, pass it back through to the chain where the tail is located. Adjust slightly. Remove the stitch marker. The tucking is now complete. Trim off the excess tail. Leave a little bit of yarn for security. The starting yarn tail should also be brought out from the right side. Apply glue on the right side lastly. Take out the main part. Align the bottom of the pocket with the 10th round of the main part. Glue it in approximately the middle position. That's how you finish the pocket. Next, crochet the hat. Start with the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds. You will need to change colors while crocheting. Finally, attach a pom-pom on top of the hat. Then glue it to the proper position on the head. Please refer to the demonstration. Everyone, first refer to the chart. Crochet the hat until it is complete. The swatch here is already crocheted. Leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters. Break the yarn. Next, proceed with tucking in the stitches. Take the reserved yarn tail, thread it into a darning needle. Insert the needle from front to back through the first stitch. Then bring it back through the chain where the yarn tail is located. Adjust a little. The tucking is now complete. Tuck in the yarn tail along the texture of the wrong side. That's it, the hat is crocheted and finished. Take out the pom-pom. Apply a small amount of glue. Stick it onto the top of the hat. Finally, press the hat flat along the side with the slip stitches. Apply some glue inside the last round to secure it. Then apply glue on the final round of one side. Stick it to the second to last round of the head, roughly in the centered position. You can refer to the pre-made product for positioning, or adjust according to your personal preference. That concludes the tutorial for the hat. Lastly, leave buttonhole positions at the bag opening. Sew on the buttons. Pay attention to matching up the positions. There's no specific requirement for the sewing method, just make sure it's secure. That's how you sew the closure button. At the same time, this concludes the tutorial for the entire Earphone case. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.